In the 1930s, life in Mississippi was a tale of two different societies. In the larger towns and cities across the state, residents benefited from access to low-cost electricity, which lit streets and ran refrigerators that kept food from spoiling. In contrast, in rural areas, 9 out of 10 homes were without electric service, and residents were forced to tolerate the same tedious lifestyle that previous generations had endured. Farmers were required to do their chores by hand, pumping water and grinding corn to feed livestock. Women washed and ironed clothes by hand, chopped wood to cook dinner, and hauled water from a well. There was a deep divide among Americans living in the city and in the country. As a result, in 1935, President Roosevelt signed into legislation the Rural Electrification Act, which established the Rural Electrification Administration. Soon after, in 1938, Southern Pine Electric Power Association was formed and took out a loan from the REA and began energizing farms and homes in 1939.
Our mission here at Southern Pine is to, in its simplest terms, is to keep the lights on and keep the bills affordable and competitive. Our service territory is one of the best in the state. When you look at, being in that triangle between Meridian, Jackson, and Hattiesburg, we've got to have some growth in that area because it's a tremendous part of the state of Mississippi.
With an 11-county area, growth wasn't an issue for Southern Pine. Throughout the 1940s, early linemen cut their way through forests and waded through swamps to bring electricity to members.
In those days, a lineman's lifespan was kind of short compared to today on kind of the safety factors.
Yeah, it's hard work, yeah. Digging holes by hand and digging anchors with anchor auger and cutting trees with a cross cut. It was hard work. We was young back then.
Charlie Robinson and Garland Valentine were linemen in the 1940s during the formative years of Southern Pine. They also witnessed members receiving electricity for the first time.
They were happy to get power, but they had a power line in front of their house and they was not able to get power. They said it was too expensive to hang a transformer for just one house. And when we came along, we would hang a transformer for each house if that's what it would take.
They were really proud. Yeah, they'd help you do anything to get your power.
Extreme conditions were also part of the job, and Southern Pine's fragile infrastructure was tested for the first time during an ice storm in 1951.
That was the worst I've ever been in. It was just, everybody every pole was down. The transformer pole lay on the ground.
We'd ride around in those trucks, we didn't even have a cab to ride in. We're still riding on the back of those trucks from one area to the other area in extremely cold weather. It was so slow about getting out in the woods and going down through the woods, chopping that wire and stuff, taking it out from under the debris, and then we had to climb them icy poles.
Southern Pine's electrical system would be tested time and time again during hurricanes, including Camille, which slammed Mississippi in 1969, and later Hurricane Katrina in 2005, the Cooperative's costliest storm ever.
What made Katrina hit us harder was the fact that it was wider. It covered up just about our whole system. And it stayed on us for I'd say about 8 or 12 hours.
It was a disastrous event. After it hit and came through, I think we had one underground circuit on in the Rankin County area. Every substation was out. We didn't have communications. There was no way to plan for that event, honestly. And we worked for 3 weeks diligently, just from can to can't to get the power restored.
Everybody was anxious to help. Everybody, worked, and nobody seemed to mind working the long hours or whatever. They wanted to get the power back on, and they felt for the people.
Employees, they prepared food. The logistics of something like this is just, it's mind-boggling. You got to have food, you got to have housing for the employees that come in. You got to have gasoline, you got to have ice, you got to have water, and none of that was available. and no phone service to get it, really. But our employees stepped up to the plate.
Southern Pine, from its beginning in 1938, has benefited from strong leadership and general managers with a clear vision willing to work hard to advance the cooperative principles. Southern Pine's first general manager, H.L. Pickering, promoted the REA endlessly to both members and employees.
He called us all in, and during that meeting, he was promoting electricity, you know, and he asked the question in the meeting, said, how many people in here has electric stoves? And so that number raised their hand. And he said, now I want to know how many doesn't have, it's got gas stoves. And of course I was one of the ones that hadn't been married long, and I raised my hand high because we had just bought a new gas stove. After everybody raised their hand, he said, well, I'm gonna have a meeting next month, and said, I'm gonna ask the same question, and said, I don't want to see a hand raised.
Southern Pine's second general manager, Blaine Eaton, helped the EPA expand and guided it financially.
He did a great job with the association. The association was not in good shape financially. His focus was on getting the association back on its feet from a financial standpoint, getting it in a position to where that we could build lines to provide better service. So yeah, he played a big role in getting Southern Pine where it is today.
Donald L. Jordan, Southern Pine's current general manager, has helped continue the association's growth, including emphasis on improved customer service and employee relations.
Don's the easiest one we've ever had to talk to. If you want to talk to him about a problem or anything, he's always there. You respect him because he respects us. And if you do your job, that's fine with him, as long as you do your job.
In 75 years, Southern Pine has grown dramatically, from one office located in Taylorsville to 4 more offices located in Brandon, Newton, New Hebron, and Hattiesburg. Now, Southern Pine is poised to serve its members better than ever before. In 2015, Southern Pine will be ready to provide enhanced customer service that will position the cooperative for the next 75 years. A state-of-the-art facility is being built which will bring Taylorsville's headquarters, district office, warehouse, and other departments together in one location.
We haven't done anything in Taylorsville in a long time as far as headquarters facilities. We're spread out right now, I think, in 4 or 5 different buildings. This facility out west of town is going to bring all that together and put our people in one location. It'll provide us a much better facility. Everything points toward the mission. I mean, everything we do points toward the mission, and that is to provide service to keep the lights on and to build affordable. And we shouldn't do anything without that focus in mind.
Southern Pine and its employees have made it their personal mission to continue the spirit of cooperation set by REA pioneers. Whether it's continued advances in technology such as our automated meters or our continued improvement in customer service.
We don't need to forget that there's no computer system and there's no software that will feel the pain and remorse of an elderly couple that has trouble, paying their bill. Somebody has got to talk to. No computer system and no software is going to go out and pick up a line that's laid on the ground. We've got to have people to do that. So, emphasis, in my view, and the way we're going to survive is people on people, people talking to people, and doing things that where we can help make their quality of life better.